What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here for your NFL week number 8 NFL review, reaction, recap, rant, all of the above. Halloween edition. We might get a little spooky here on the show because it is Halloween. I hope that you have, of course, had one of your favorite chocolate bars, candy bars, whatever gets you going. I hope you've had a great Halloween. I hope you've dressed up. I hope that you didn't have to witness this absolute nightmare of a Monday Night Football game for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, the Bengals have returned to the bottom line view. We will get into the Monday Night Football matchup. But before we do, you know what to do. Make sure that you spike the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more BLV and NFL weekly reviews just like this. Also, spike the notification bell for the latest upload. This is your NFL weekly review, and there's no other show on YouTube like it. I am going to tell you the truth. I am going to lay it down. 100% real, 100% honest. From what I see through my two blue eyes, I'm going to let you know what's happening in the NFL, guys. I'm going to let you know what's happening. Because ESPN's not going to tell you. Because Undisputed is not going to tell you. They're just going to talk about Brady's divorce. This is the place to go for real NFL talk. All right? And that's why you subscribe to the channel. I do want to give a shout out to all of my YouTube members, all of the great YouTube members that are now BLVers, official BLVers. They're a part of that exclusive club. We've been having a great time. Last night we had an awesome time for Sunday Night Football watching Buffalo and Green Bay, and a lot of people were bored by that game, but not if you were in that chat. That was a good time. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to become a YouTube member, become a BLV patron, and support me, support the channel, support the goals, but also have a good time doing so and join that exclusive stream once a week on primetime, just like Big Al and his EAGLES, Eagles. We'll talk about the Eagles maybe a little bit. Now, we are at the halfway point of the NFL season now, about the halfway point, as good as you could really take it for a 17-game season. We're just after the 8th week now. The 8th week is wrapped. The eighth week is finished. So what I've decided to do for this week is I'm going to make multiple videos projecting the rest of the season. And I'm going to be making a couple videos that also look at what we've already seen this season. So I'm going to be doing updated predictions for the playoffs, for who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, for how I think that's going to go, because I know you guys enjoy that. I know you guys enjoy quarterback rankings. I'm going to dive in and do some quarterback rankings as well this week. So we're going to have some extra content because it's about the halfway mark of the NFL season. Okay, so if that sounds good, spike the like button. Now, let's get started with Monday Night Football. I had as a best bet this week, and my favorite bet, as I said in the video, you can go back and check. My favorite bet this week was the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5. Now, I'm not here to gloat. I'm not here to, talk about how great I am, okay? This is something I learned as a young chap watching the NFL. And my dad, who's dressed up as Johnny Lawrence right now, shout out Cobra Kai, always told me to take the home dog on Monday night. But he didn't even listen to his own advice. He didn't believe me when I said I'm taking the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5. I'm taking my boy, the Wolfpack member. Shout out to Jimmy G and Tom Brady and Jacoby Brissett in 2016. The Wolfpack member, Jacoby Brissett at home versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And not only that, the Bengals dominated or got dominated by the Browns last year in that miraculous season, the epic season that was from the Bengals last year. They lost both games to Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. So that tells you how Kevin Stefanski has owned Zach Taylor. And I believe he's actually 4-0 versus Zach Taylor since the beginning of Stefanski's run in Cleveland. So Stefanski, for whatever reason, just as Kyle is the daddy of McVay, Stefanski is the uncle of Zach Taylor, okay? And I feel like the Browns, they've become a blind bet for me at this point. From here on forth, the Cleveland Browns are a blind bet when they play the Bengals. I don't care where the game is. I don't care who's playing in the game. As long as Kevin Stefanski and Zach Taylor take part in this game, I will be betting the Browns. And you guys can mark that down, all right? But as for the game itself, it was 32-13. I hope you didn't watch all of it. Jacoby Brissett went 17 for 22, 278, 1 tutty, 133.7 passer rating. Now, beginning with Jacoby Brissett. I feel like Jacoby Brissett has had a very under-the-radar, very underrated season. I think this is the best football I've ever seen him play in his career. I've seen him play in New England. I've seen him play in Indianapolis. I've seen him play in Miami. This is the best football I've seen him play. I think this is the system, this is the team that he fits best with. Jacoby Brissett is a big man. Jacoby Brissett has a pretty strong arm. Jacoby Brissett can run. Jacoby Brissett is a fairly smart guy. And his teammates have always loved him no matter where he's been. So he fits this offense very well because he's got the arm strength, the strength to stretch the field. He's got the quarterback sneakage ability to make those third and inches plays. He's got that just a little bit to run and extend plays. He doesn't make too many boneheaded mistakes. He protects the football. And man, I will say something about Jacoby Brissett. This year, I feel like every game that I've seen him in, even the bad performances, quote unquote, like even a game against New England where people thought he sucked, I came away from that game saying, just looking at how he played individually, he threw the ball well in the game. I've never seen him throw the ball as well as he's throwing the ball right now. And what I mean by that is he's just accurate with the football consistently. Like he has control over the ball consistently. If you watch somebody right now like Trevor Lawrence, for example, Trevor Lawrence, he makes the easy things look hard and the hard things look easy. Like sometimes he makes an amazing throw, and then the next play, he's got a guy wide open underneath and he just misses him. Like a lot of that is consistency with mechanics, consistency with accuracy, consistent with all that stuff. Jacoby, even in the bad games, sometimes it's a bad decision, sometimes he doesn't see a defender, sometimes he's under pressure and he's just not good enough to make plays. But what I can say about Jacoby is he doesn't miss a lot of throws. If the throw is there and he's got an open pocket, he's going to deliver. And he can make basically every throw there is. So credit Jacoby. I thought he played well in this game. He was also aided by a strong rushing attack from Nick Chubb. 23 carries, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb is a top running back in the game. And I will say this. This is going to be a part of a larger point when it comes to the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry. I believe this season, 2022, to me, has been the season of the running back. This has been the rejuvenation of the running back in the NFL. And why is that? Because a lot of people have been devaluing the position this year and in the past, like decade. Running back has become irrelevant. Nobody cares about the running back position anymore. Nobody thinks it has an impact on football games. Nobody thinks it helps you win. Like, the last position everybody wants to grab in the draft or in free agency is the running back. Nobody wants to pay a running back. Nobody wants to have an elite one because it means they're going to have to pay the guy, right? The running back position this year has been so crucial because of the lack of scoring in the NFL. There has not been a lot of explosive offenses, consistent offenses that are winning through the air this year. If you've noticed watching the NFL this year, the running game has been so crucial to winning games. Being able to convert on short yardage, being able to convert in the red zone, being able to milk the clock so that you can win the game in the fourth quarter. The ability to break explosive plays, the ability, most importantly, above all else this year, when you're struggling to move the ball, do you have a running back that can create something out of nothing this year? Right, you look at the Giants, Saquon Barkley. You look at Derrick Henry and the Titans this past week against the Texans. Didn't have a quarterback to speak of. They run for 200 yards, they win the game. Right? You look at Christian McCaffrey and the impact already that he's had on the San Francisco 49ers. You look at Kenneth Walker in Seattle, Ramondre Stevenson in New England. A lot of these best running backs in the game, there are some that have disappointed. Joe Mixon's been up and down. I don't really think it's all on Joe Mixon. I think it's more so on the offense and the offensive line in general. But a lot of these running backs, Travis Etienne's another one. I mean, that's a guy that's going off. Hasn't really led to wins there for other reasons. But some of these young running backs are rising, and some of these stud running backs are carrying. And we've seen these running backs be the difference in some of these games. And I think the running back, to me, is becoming a little bit more important now because of teams are not as successful in completing passes. We've seen a trend now this season. You look at teams like Chicago, you look at teams like Carolina, you look at teams like Atlanta, you look at teams like even Green Bay. You know, completion percentages are low. Defenses are stifling short passing games. That ability to just pick apart a defense, 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 7 yards here, is not quite there the way it was 5-10 years ago, at least for this season. And that's making the running game that more important. That's a tangent, but I've noticed that. As for Cincinnati, the quarterback position, Joe Burrow, 25 for 35, 232, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, sacked 5 times, passer rating of 96.4. Joe Burrow did not have a very good game in this one. Clearly missed his number one alpha target, Jamar Chase, and I even tweeted a bit jokingly that Joe Burrow is a Jamar Chase product, but I have yet to be proven otherwise, to be honest with you. And I like Joe Burrow. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. But I have yet to see Joe Burrow play at a high level without Jamar Chase, and I will continue to wait until that happens. Because it's not like he doesn't have good receivers out there. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins are pretty good at football, okay? He's got Joe Mixon at running back. Some of these quarterbacks would absolutely kill to get T. Higgins as their number one receiver. Joe Burrow needs to prove that he can carry this team over this stretch without his Jamar Chase, because that's really been the guy that's created the Bengals into what they are today, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys. And Zach Taylor needs to prove that he can call an offense without that alpha target drawing double coverage, and we have yet to see that. Credit the Cleveland defense. Cleveland's defense has a very good handle on what Cincinnati likes to do. They've got the personnel to match up. I thought that their corners played very well, especially with that matchup with T. Higgins. Myles Garrett was absolutely a monster. I thought their defensive line played real strong. They got after it. They didn't allow the Bengals to run it. And the Bengals, all they really had in this game were checkdowns, and that wasn't doing anything for Cincinnati moving the football down the field. So Amari Cooper had a good game, 5 catches, 131 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones had a good game, 4 catches, 81 yards. Arguably the most underrated duo at wide receiver in the NFL this year. I've been continually impressed by those two as well in games this season. I think Amari Cooper, as an add to the Browns, despite the record, has actually been a fairly good one, especially for what they gave him in the trade to Dallas. I think he's been a solid player for them. Obviously, they're missing their big go-to tight end out there. Myles Garrett, love to see the celebrations, the thriller dances, and all that stuff. Bengals, shout out to safety Von Bell. I thought he had a good game overall. Their defensive line was a bit disappointing. I didn't think they created enough pressure. I didn't think they played the run particularly well. But again, guys, this goes back to what I said. This was a best bet for a reason. This is a tough matchup, and ultimately the NFL can be, more than most leagues, a matchup league. This is a matchup sport, and we've seen that in the past with the Saints and the Bucs. We've seen that with the Niners and the Rams. This is another one of those matchups that just does not favor the Bengals. So from my perspective, I'm not going to take a ton away from Cincinnati and say, oh, they're terrible now. I still look at them as a team that should be on their way to pushing for a playoff spot. And I'm not convinced they're going to get a playoff spot without Ja'Marr Chase for the next few weeks. But this does open the door to me for Cleveland, because Cleveland is now going to be, I believe, 3-5. 3-5, I think. So that's going to allow them to be only one game back of Cincinnati. And as long as they can win a couple more before D. Watson comes back, I feel like they're going to put themselves in a position to at least compete at the end of the year. But we'll see how it goes. We knew there was a tough schedule for Cleveland coming into the year. Kareem Hunt, also rumored to be on the block. That's an intriguing ad for a number of teams. I don't think Kareem Hunt's as good as he was 2 years ago. I don't think he has that explosiveness that he once had, but I do think he is good in all facets of the game. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's a powerful back. He can break tackles. He's not a guy that's going to break for 60 yards, but he's a guy that can break 2 tackles and create a 2-yard carry into an 8-yard carry, or a 12-yard carry, or a 25-yard carry. And he's also a guy that can pass block a bit as well. So he would be an interesting ad for running back needy teams, but I would not be paying a ton for him. If I was a team that was a true contender, if I was a Kansas City, if I was a Buffalo, if I was one of those teams, I would possibly be looking into that for Kareem Hunt. But I do think it would have to be one of those teams. If I was the LA Rams, I would not be trying to sell a 4th-round pick when I already don't have any picks for Kareem Hunt. I understand the Rams think they're perennial contenders. They suck, okay? We're going to get to that later. It's the silence of the Rams. We'll talk about that in the main event of the evening, okay? So we'll get to that. Now, that is Monday Night Football. That's what I thought. Not too much to take away, but Myles Garrett's an absolute stud. Jacoby's underrated. Nick Chubb's good. We know this. Stefanski, you did better. I give you a round of applause. You did better, okay? Joe Burrow, still got to prove yourself without Ja'Marr Chase. Those are my main takeaways. If you haven't already, make sure you do Gronk spike the damn like button. Also, shout out to Connor McLeod, who's been too busy playing lax to join my chats. He's in the chat right now. Shout out to him. What's going on, Rory? Thank you for joining the chat. What's going on, Caesar? What's up, Big Al? What's up, Lasso? How you doing, man? What's up, The Web? What's up, Deshaun? What's up, Hector? What's going on? Shakur, Jordan, what's going on, guys? Odd Big King, Asthma. Who else we got in here? Atlanta fan. We got Matthew. We got Ultra, who says, I can't believe it. I may need to put my glasses on to read that comment. Jermari says, yo, what's going on, Jermari? Jermari, I don't think has still beat me at Madden. I think I'm up 4-0 on him. Rob, what's up, bro? He asked why the Raiders suck. We're going to talk about the Raiders in a bit, but I first got to talk about Roquan Smith. Former Chicago Bear, former leader of the Nicholas Gill fan club, Roquan Smith has been traded to the Baltimore Ravens. And immediately, what did I think of? What did I think of as the kid born in 96? As the guy that grew up watching number 52? You know what I thought of. I thought of Ray Lewis. That's what I thought of. I thought of the Ravens getting back that centerpiece of their defense, getting that middle linebacker. The Ravens without a great middle linebacker are just not the Ravens. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care who's on the team. I don't care. I don't care how good they are, baby. If you don't got a great middle linebacker on the Ravens, you're not the Ravens, okay? So what I need from Roquan Smith is to do a dance coming out of the locker room. I need him to wear number 52. And I need him to give absolutely outrageous pregame speeches that make no sense but are super motivating. That's what I need from Roquan Smith. I love the passion. I love Roquan Smith crying, tearing up at the thought of losing Robert Quinn, his teammate. Now, take that energy, put it inside, and deliver those Ray Lewis speeches. That's what I need from you, Roquan Smith. The trade was a second and a fifth for Roquan Smith. Ray Lewis would be proud. Now, second and a fifth for the Bears, I think it's a great deal for the Bears. I think that's a great deal for the Bears. When you look at it, Roquan Smith's coming up. He's going to have to get paid soon. He's going to have to get paid, right? And the Chicago Bears, I don't think they're at the point where they should be investing a lot in a middle linebacker. I just don't think they're at that point. You know, is Roquan Smith your best player? Yeah, probably. He's your best player. I don't even know why I said probably. He is your best player, but this is a rebuilding Chicago team. Yes, they whooped the Patriots' candy asses. I understand that. But that was just a blip on the radar. This is a football team that's looking to pick high in the draft. This is a team that they're still figuring out who their quarterback is, if it's Fields or if it's the next dude. They've got to build their offensive line. They've got to build their receiving core. They've got to build their defensive line. This is a coaching staff that I've enjoyed what they've brought to the table. I was wrong about that. I really question this coaching staff coming in the year, but I think they've been better than I thought. I'm not saying they're the next Kyle Shanahan or anything like that, ultra, but I am saying that they are a good coaching staff, and they are a coaching staff that I believe in moving forward. I think they've put their players in a position to succeed, especially as of late. Now, what do I think of this from a Ravens perspective? Because obviously the Bears need the picks. The Bears are rebuilding. It's a good move for the Bears. Right, getting a second and a fifth for a linebacker who you're going to have to pay, great deal. For the Baltimore Ravens, I love that you're trading for a linebacker. I love it for nostalgia, but you don't really need a linebacker. So this football team on the Baltimore Ravens right now has spent seasons avoiding like the plague the middle linebacker position. They have not wanted to draft one. They have not wanted to pick one up in free agency. They have not wanted to trade for one. They have not wanted a middle linebacker for years, right? All of a sudden, they trade for Roquan Smith. Not saying that this doesn't help the defense. Not saying that this doesn't give them an impact player in the middle of their defense. Not saying that this doesn't make their defense a heck of a lot faster, because if you're fast at middle linebacker in the NFL, you're fast on defense in the NFL. Think about it. Okay, but Roquan Smith is not the answer if the Ravens want to make a Super Bowl run. The Ravens did not need a linebacker to win the Super Bowl, to go to the Super Bowl, to make that run to the Super Bowl. Is it nice to have? Will it make their defense better? Yes. Personally, I think their biggest problem on defense is a lack of a pass rush, which then puts their defense in a bind because they're always having to blitz and they're always having to leave their corners on islands and they're always, having to play man coverage and being aggressive because they can't get a pass rush. Okay, that's my personal opinion. But the biggest move that they could have made, in my opinion, was for a slot wide receiver. The Baltimore Ravens are a team that they get A+ in the draft every year. Nobody actually goes back and looks at the report cards, but I swear to you, that they've been getting an A in the draft every year since 2000. I swear to you. Okay? Swear to me. But I do think that the Baltimore Ravens needed a slot receiver. They needed a slot receiver. They needed a guy in the middle of the field who could get open quickly, who could separate quickly. They've got a big alpha tight end. They've got a guy that can go up and win jump balls. They've got a guy that needs to be double teamed in the red zone on third down because Lamar and Andrews, perfect connection. Andrews can receive, he could block, he could do it all. He is a problem, right? But you need a complement to your tight end. Just as Gronk had Edelman, Brady loved that middle of the field, right? Brady was all about, you got the James White, you got the Julian Edelman, you got the Gronk. That's how they were successful in New England in the passing game. Lamar Jackson is a lot like a Tua or a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Tom Brady. Like, not saying that these guys would not also be aided and helped and supported by alpha outside X receivers, but where they mostly want to throw the ball is in the middle of the field, in between the numbers. And Lamar does not have that quick slot receiver shifty dude. And why I love it for the Ravens is, especially with that running game, you know, if you get a guy like that can separate, that can get open, because teams have to commit so heavily to the run game, you're going to see more matchups with that guy one-on-one, isolated. Because you got to pick and choose. You got to pick your poison between him, Andrews, Lamar in the running game, the running backs, all that sort of stuff. And that would just help Lamar so much, because the biggest weakness of the Ravens is not linebacker. It's their ability to throw the ball when they need to throw the ball. And the reason they're not that great at it is because they don't have the weapons that you're afraid of. Right now, defenses can defend the run game and the pass game because they're not scared of those receivers. And I'm not saying go out there and get some flyer, some downfield threat. I'm talking about a guy that on 3rd and 7 can get open over the middle of the field, make a catch, and get that conversion. That's what the Ravens truly need more than anything else, more than any other position. That would make their team that much better. That would make that team and offense that much more difficult to defend. I like Roquan Smith. I think he's a great talent. I think he can cover. I think he's fast. I think he can defend the run. I think he's going to tackle a bunch of people. But I would rather have them gone out there and tried to get a great slot to support Andrews and to support their quarterback. They just have not given Lamar enough help at that position over the years, and they continue to avoid that area. So, sure, it's a nice trade, but I also just think they've kind of messed it up. They've invested in the wrong position to me at the trade deadline. Okay. So let's get to one of the games on Sunday, which was perhaps the most dramatic game of Sunday, and that was unexpectedly the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Nobody saw this game coming. Nobody saw this shootout, this absolute barn burner coming between PJ Pajama Walker and Marcus Mariota. Nobody saw it coming. But this is what I'll say about that. That's why you take your helmet off in the end zone. Bro, what? I don't understand this NFL, man. I really don't understand the NFL. I just don't get it. Like, that game was unbelievable. That game was unbelievable. Carolina throws a 60-yard bomb on a rope, perfect pass, best pass of the year, according to Patrick Mahomes, on the move, to his left, Pajama Walker out of the end zone, throwing the ball for a touchdown to DJ Moore. And it's like an emotion thing. You know what that play reminded me of? When DJ Moore scored and then took his helmet off? That reminded me so much of the Stephon Diggs touchdown. You know the Stephon Diggs touchdown? Like, Stephon Diggs! That play, you know, the Minneapolis Miracle. That's what it reminded me of because I think Diggs took his helmet off. I hate that rule. That's the worst rule in the NFL. You're not hurting anybody by taking your helmet off after you score a touchdown. You're not hurting anyone, NFL. Who are you hurting? If anything, it's better. You take your helmet off. You get to see your full face on the camera. You show that emotion, right? Right? That's why in superhero movies, they always have the guy take his mask off. Why do they always have Tobey Maguire take his mask off? Because they got to see him emote. You know what I mean? Why did they always make Christian Bale take his mask off? Because you got to see him emote. You got to see the emotions of the great actor. And with DJ Moore, he was just showing his emotions. He was being an athlete. He was being a human being. So the NFL doesn't want DJ Moore to be a human being. They don't want him to react with heart and soul and passion and charisma and electricity flowing through his veins. They don't want that. They would rather him be, oh, I just scored a game-winning touchdown potentially, and just hand the ball to the ref like Barry Sanders in 1994. Bro, he's a human being. Let him react. Let him emote. Let him win an Oscar, bro. Let the man win an Oscar, please. Okay? And then we've got Eddie Pinheiro. I don't know what his name is. Eddie, he had one job, Eddie. You got one job. You got to kick the ball into the uprights. You got to kick in the uprights. That's all you got to do. One job. So you get the opportunity, right? You get the opportunity first time to win the game on an extra point. Now, you get a 15-yard penalty on the kick, on the take the helmet off gimmick. So you got to back up and then you got to kick it, right? Okay, so you missed that one. Okay, fine. You missed that one. It was a little far. I'll cut you a break for the first one. We go to overtime, and Marcus Mariota just decides, hey, why not? Let's give Pinheiro another shot. Throws the ball down the field to CJ Henderson, runs it all the way back inside the 25-yard line, and Eddie Pinheiro, the jackass that he is, lines up for another 30-yard field goal, misses that baby. See ya, misses that one. So we got the damn Carolina Panthers with the season on the line, the division title, the division lead on the line. Eddie Pinheiro misses the damn kick not once, but twice. After Pajama Walker just made the greatest play of his life. From XFL to NFL to hero, you don't allow PJ Walker to be the hero, bro. It's all your fault, Eddie. It's all your fault. I blame Eddie. I blame nobody but Eddie. And to put an emphasis on what I've been talking about for weeks, that is why you kick the field goal, baby. That is why you kick the field goal. Arthur Smith, up 3. 4th down with 30 seconds left. That's why you kick the field goal. Because you never know when the NFL is going to bail you out with an absolutely horrific rule where a player can't take his helmet off in the end zone. So you kick the field goal, you go up 6, and you allow the other team to F it up. You allow a touchdown, doesn't even matter because the NFL is going to give me a break here. DJ Moore takes his helmet off, celebrating. They move the kick back. The kicker, Mitch, misses it, goes to overtime. That's why you kick the field goal, baby. That's why you kick it. Because you never know when the NFL is going to bail you out. By the way, the field goal was the right call anyways, because I don't know how an NFL team could allow a 70-yard Hail Mary touchdown. They had a double coverage on DJ Moore, and DJ Moore just ran past them. The Atlanta Falcons secondary is atrocious. There is no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. Okay? That was an interesting game. Oh, shout out to Deontay Foreman, man. That guy is an absolute monster. My goodness. He was running over fools left and right. He had a good year with the Titans. Since McCaffrey got traded, that guy has been going off. Give him some credit. Okay, let's talk about our favorite NFL team. Everybody's favorite NFL team. The Buffalo Bills, a.k.a. the wannabe 2007 Patriots. The Buffalo Bills of 2022, who lost the game already, trying to go on Sunday Night Football, trying to get all, oh, look at us, we're the Buffalo Bills. We haven't won a Super Bowl yet, and we're going to put on a show on Sunday night. We're going to put on a show, guys. We think we're the 2007 Patriots, so we're going to try to run up the score in the fourth quarter. You know, we're not going to run the ball. We're not going to run it. We're going to just throw it all over the field because we want to run the score up. We want to look even better. We're playing college football. We're trying to score as many points as we can. Sean McDermott, you're not the 2007 Patriots. Nobody is, okay? Stop acting like it. Okay, you're the Buffalo Bills. Your franchise has never won a Super Bowl. You have never won a Super Bowl. Josh Allen's never won a Super Bowl. Stephon Diggs never won a Super Bowl. Your team has not done shit yet. Who are you on Sunday night at home in the fourth quarter? Just run the ball. Run the clock out. Run it out. Now, I'm not going to complain this week, McDermott, because I covered the game. Because I knew that you were just going to try to put on a show. You're going to try to score as many points as you want to score. But you're just letting the other team back in the game. This is why I don't trust Sean McDermott. What did I say in the Chiefs game? I said in the Chiefs game that the guy just doesn't manage the game. He just has brain farts all the time. Like, I don't understand. Like, the Bills were thoroughly better than the Chiefs in that Kansas City game. And the Chiefs had the ball at the end of the game in the hands of Patrick Mahomes to win it. But he got bailed out by Von Miller. Just as Peyton Manning did in 2015. Bailed out by Von Miller for a Super Bowl win. Now Sean McDermott's going to get bailed out by Von Miller too, I guess. Because Sean McDermott, if the Bills don't win the Super Bowl this year, man, this is the best team in football. This is the most well-rounded team in football. This is a team with a fantastic quarterback who's probably going to be a future Hall of Famer. This is a great team. There's no debating that. Are they the 2007 Patriots? Fuck no, they are not. They're not putting up 34 on the 2007 Chargers, okay? But the Buffalo Bills are good. They deserve to be number one in the power rankings. They deserve to be the top team. They deserve to be favored by 10, 11 versus Aaron Rodgers. But in the fourth quarter, I don't trust them managing the game because they don't want to run the ball. They can't run the ball. There's a problem there. In the January snow game against the Chiefs, against really any team, bro, you're going to have to run the ball. Run the ball! Now, everyone's going to look at Josh Allen and say, why is Josh Allen making those stupid mistakes? Why is Josh Allen even attempting to throw it? Why is Josh Allen having to run it? Why can't we run the ball? We're playing the worst run defense in the damn NFL. If you won't run it against the Packers, I don't know who you want to run it against. Run the ball. Run the clock out. Why are you trying to put up 100 points? You're not doing it. Just give it up. Like, that game, if nobody else realized what they were watching on Sunday night, they were watching a team literally with intent, trying to run the score up. You know when you play your buddy in Madden and you want to like prove a point and you punish them and you just keep throwing the ball at the end of the game to put up touchdowns? That's literally what the Bills were doing. They weren't doing it out of strategy. They were trying to like nonchalant, casually just put up 50 burger on Sunday night because it was Sunday Night Football. And it was against Aaron Rodgers. Bro, who cares? Stop it. Who do you think you are? Come on, man. I'm done with Sean McDermott, bro. Sean McDermott's going to lose them another playoff game just like he did last year. I swear. He's going to do it. You won't see it coming, but it's going to happen. I swear to you. Swear to me. All right, next topic we got to talk about. Hold on. Tommy Thompson's going to like this one. P-A-T-S, Pats. The New England Patriots beat the New York Jets, Jets in New Jersey. And hand them their asses. The New England Patriots with Devin McCourty. 2 interceptions. Devin McCourty leading all active players in interceptions. Put some respect on his name. Ultra. Tyler's World. Caesar. Jermari. Atlanta fan. I need you to tell me this. Why don't you respect Devin McCourty? 2 picks against young Zach Wilson. Most picks among active players. 3 Super Bowl wins. All pro at corner. All pro at safety. Pro Bowls. Community Service Awards. Legend of a dynasty. Leader, pre-game speecher, second longest tenured Patriot, only behind the GOAT, Matthew Slater. D-Mac, Hall of Fame. Put up the candidacy right now. If I'm still angry that Rodney Harrison's not in the Hall of Fame. We need to get Rodney Harrison in the Hall of Fame. Next up, we got Devin McCourty in the Hall of Fame. It's been said that back in the heyday of the latest Patriots dynasty, you know, the 2014 to 2017 team, you know, those teams, the Brady, Gronk, Edelman deals, Bill Belichick would only have 3 players on his team before training camp began. The 3 players on the team would be Matthew Slater, Steven Gostkowski, and Devin McCourty. Not Tom Brady, not Rob Gronkowski, nobody else. Those 3 players would automatically be on the team. Everybody else had to fight for their job because he's that important to that dynasty. And he's that important to this team, and he's that important. And I'm done with it. I'm done with the disrespect. I'm done with these gimmicks. I'm done with the people saying, he's not that good. He's been overrated. He's on a good team. I'm done with it. No more. Anyways, we had the Patriots. The Pats. win over the New York Jets. And we have a superstar in the making, ladies and gentlemen. And his name is Mondre. His name is Ramondre Stevenson. If you do not already rank Ramondre Stevenson inside your top 10 running backs, I don't know what to tell you. Ramondre Stevenson is an absolute dog. Ramondre Stevenson is running people over. Ramondre Stevenson is making cuts, making people miss. Ramondre Stevenson is outrunning people. Ramondre Stevenson's running routes. Ramondre Stevenson's pass blocking. Ramondre Stevenson's catching screens. Ramondre Stevenson's catching touchdowns, running all over your favorite defense. And Ramondre Stevenson is the real deal Holyfield. He is a dog. If you do not think Ramondre Stevenson is absolutely elite, I need you to get a new pair of glasses, okay? Ramondre Stevenson is that dude. Now, I am done with everybody. All of a sudden, everybody hates Mac Jones. Why does everybody hate Mac Jones now? Like, all of a sudden, like last year, everybody loved Mac Jones. Not even just Patriots fans, like other fans liked Mac Jones. Not just Patriots fans. Patriots fans adored Mac Jones. Now everybody hates Mac Jones. What's up with that? Why does everybody hate Mac Jones now? I mean, cut the guy a break. He got hurt, bro. He's behind this O-line. He gets sacked 6 times because Cole Strange, the rookie, got his ass handed to him by Quinnen Williams so bad that they had to sit him and put Isaiah Wynn in at guard. That's how bad it was. Anyways, why do people hate Mac Jones now? I really don't get it. I'm just asking people why they hate Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a lovable dude. Mac Jones is just a hard-working guy. Mac Jones is just trying to prove himself inside this NFL. Mac Jones doesn't have a Jamar Chase to throw to. Jamar Chase, he doesn't even have a T. Higgins. You see what our boy Joe Burr looked like over there on Monday night in Cleveland without his buddy there. I mean, Mac Jones, he's going to prove all the people wrong. He's taken this team to the playoffs. Nobody thought before the year the Patriots were going to make the playoffs. I'm telling you, they're going to make the playoffs. And then I'm still going to hear people saying that Mac isn't that good when he's going to go to the playoffs 2 years in a row. I'm just warning you, what's going to be your excuse? What's going to be your excuse when Mac Daddy Jones goes to the playoffs not once, but twice in a row to start his career? What's going to be the excuse? I need to hear it. I don't get the hate. I don't respect the hate. I don't appreciate the hate by anybody. Not with it. Zach Wilson. Now, Zach Wilson is getting... Oh, wait. Before we get to Zachary, okay, with his chewing gum at the press conference after the game. Bro, get the damn gum. I know. I love gum, bro. I've got gum right here. I got gum right here, bro. I love gum, okay? Don't have the gum. This is a lesson for Zach Wilson. When you're at a press conference, when you're doing a video on YouTube, you're not chewing the gum like a cow because it's hard to understand, and actually it's hard to talk like fast and have expression and emote, you know, like DJ Moore was trying to do with his helmet off. It's hard because This gum is going to come in the front of my face. And Zach Wilson is talking like this at the podium. And they're saying, hey, Zach, how do you feel about getting revenge on the Patriots? That was the whole goal this year. And then Zach's over here with the gum like this, like out of his mouth. Bro, you're making us look bad, bro. You're making us white blonde boys look terrible right now. Don't act like that at the press conference. Be a good boy. Sit there. Get the damn gum out of your mouth. Even if you have the gum, stick it under the table. Do whatever you gotta do. Get rid of the gum. Okay? You can't have the gum like this in your press conference like this and then answer the question. That's not a good look, bro. You just look like an absolute douchebag. Okay? Please stop it. Caesar says swallow it. Do that too. I don't know where this lovable Zach Wilson went. I mean, I don't know if since he became a MILF killer that it just went out the window. I don't know what happened, okay? But Zach Wilson, I'm not appreciating this gum gimmick. Put away the gum, okay? You take the wrapper and you put the gum in the wrapper and you save it for later, okay, bro? Anyways, we've got back to Mac Jones for a second here. So we've got Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, right? In the beginning of the game, people hating on him for his performance. If we would have had Bailey Zappi in the game in the first half, we would have lost like 28-3. And I'm not trying to make, I don't know why I said 28-3. Maybe it was on the top of my mind. I don't know. But that's not the point. So, if we would have had Bailey Zappi in the game, and I'm not trying to say Bailey Zappi's bad. I'm not trying to say I don't like Bailey Zappi. Again, but there's a difference between Mac Jones and Bailey. And the difference we've seen is these drop back situations, these drop back scenarios. What I mean by drop back is shotgun, even under center, no play action, no gimmicks. The other team knows you're going to throw and you're throwing the ball, right? So it's third down. It's third down 5 times in the first half. Mac Jones on the first 4 or 5 third downs, I don't exactly remember, converts all of them against one of the best defenses in football, the New York Jets, in that first 2 to 3 quarters that we had those third downs. So we weren't able to get anything going on first or second down. One, because there was too much pressure on our quarterback because we couldn't protect him, because the Jets have a very good D-line and because our offensive line was a mess. We couldn't really run the ball early in the game. And Patricia also just continues to struggle the last couple of weeks. So we have these third downs, right? And it all comes down to our quarterback play and our quarterback making these plays, making these throws, right? Avoiding the rush, scrambling when he needs to. If that was Bailey Zappi, we witnessed what would happen against the Chicago Bears. It wouldn't have been pretty. It wouldn't have been good, okay? So Patriots fans, please understand that. Go back and watch it if you need to. Mac Jones, coming off that injury, rust, not a factor, goes in there, comfortable, confident, on the road versus one of the top defenses in football, one of the best pass rushes in football, drops back, third down, an obvious passing situation, converts those passing downs, and allows us to move the chains and get some points on the board early to keep us in the game. Then later on, our team starts to play better, we run the ball better, we call plays better, we start to get more things going, and our defense starts to make plays on young Zach Wilson. Okay, so just remember that. Now, Zachary Wilson. I do not know of a quarterback who's as talented as Zach Wilson from a passing perspective, from a tools perspective. I mean, Zach Wilson has a ton of talent. He can throw the ball from a multitude of angles. He looks like Matthew Stafford out there zipping the ball around like this, right? He's got great feet. He can move. He can make, plays with his legs, extend plays. He can just flick the ball very easily down the field for 40 yards. He did it against New England in that game to Garrett Wilson early in the game. Just an easy flick, effortless flick down the field. There's not many quarterbacks that can do what he can do from a physical standpoint. The one area where Zach Wilson, and it's kind of like one big area where Zach Wilson just makes no sense at all. He has terrible depth perception. Like, I've never seen a quarterback throw so many interceptions where, like, I understand where he's trying to throw the ball. Like, it makes sense where he's trying to go with the ball. But, like, he's so wildly, like, runs around in a circle and then, like, tries to go all the way back to his end zone as far as humanly possible and try to escape a sack so desperately that he'll just throw the ball. And you, like, see where he's trying to throw it, but, like, his depth perception is so terrible that he'll, like, throw it in the wrong place by, like, a mile. Like, he'll throw it, he'll just flick it. Like, he's trying to avoid a sack, and he's running around, and he just throws it up, and he misses the guy by, like, 20 yards, and you're like, what in the hell? Like, were you trying to throw that out of bounds? What are you doing? He just, like, throws it up, and he, like, trying to throw it out of bounds, but he just doesn't understand, like, the layers of the defense or something, or, like, how to, like, throw over the, you know what I mean? Like, it's so terrible that way. And he's got to learn how to, like, give up on a play. Because I see some potential with the young kid. Minus the gimmick with the gum, I feel like he's got a lot of talent. He does seem a little immature. I will say that. Maybe he needs some time to grow into a good quarterback. But there's certainly talent there. There's certainly throws that he makes that you say, wow, that was a nice throw. That was a nice play. He even did that against the Patriots. But there's other plays where he's just making these boneheaded passes where you're like, stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm even saying, like, what in the blue? That doesn't even make our defense look good. That was just terrible. So, that's just what I have to say about Zach Wilson. He's got to figure that out. Again, man, like, Stevenson's another one of these running backs. I said earlier, the running back position this year is being undervalued. The running back position is back in a big way. And Stevenson's another one of those runners that he's making a little bit extra out of very little, I feel like. Next up, it's amazing what we can accomplish when nobody cares who gets credit. Tyler Lockett. Let me say that again. It's amazing what you can accomplish when nobody cares who gets credit. That was from the great Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, after the game versus the Giants, after that big W at home, Tyler Lockett, a leader of the Seahawks, delivered that message, basically saying, and this is what he really meant to say, it's amazing what you can do when Russell Wilson isn't trying to take all of the credit from the Seattle Seahawks. That's what he actually said. Okay? Tyler Lockett said, hey, Russ, take that big-ass contract, take that danger Russ switch, whatever you call it, turn it sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. That's what Tyler Lockett was saying. And I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the drama. Absolutely. Because the Seattle Seahawks are back in a big way. I'm buying the Seahawks stock. If the Seahawks were a stock, I'd be all in. The Seattle Seahawks are a good team. I watched that game against the Giants. Their defense suffocated Saquon in the Giants running game. Their run defense was elite. There was nowhere to go in that game. If Saquon didn't break 3 tackles, he wasn't gaining 10 yards. They were all over the passing game. Daniel Jones was escaping a sack and throwing it, and still there was coverage all over it. The Seahawks defense has greatly improved. They've got a bunch of young ballers out there that are making plays, man, left and right. You saw the trade, the guy that they got in the trade, Shelby Harris, stopped the run. Jordan Brooks is out there. Tariq Woolen is out there. I mean, Kobe Bryant is out there. The Seahawks defense has improved a ton, and they're playing really well. And I got to credit Peter Carroll. And I've got to apologize to Sir Peter Carroll. I am sorry, Pete Carroll, that I called you old. I'm sorry, Pete Carroll, that I made fun of your chewing of the gum. I'm sorry, Pete Carroll, that I said you were out of touch. I'm sorry, Pete Carroll, that I thought Russell Wilson was the reason this team was still winning games. I'm sorry, Pete. I'm sorry, because Pete Carroll is a good football coach. Pete Carroll is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Carroll is elevating this defense with his coaching. And he made the right decision with Geno Smith. And he made the right decision with Kenneth Walker. And they drafted some studs at tackle. And the Seahawks are the real deal. There's a young defense, a young roster buying into the culture of Pete Carroll. And this is so reminiscent of 2012. A quarterback that comes out of nowhere. An upstart superstar running back. A defense flying around, playing with passion. A team playing with energy. This is the Seahawks. This is what happens as well when a Giants team that is winning every game on coaching actually faces a competent coach. That is what happens. Because the G-men, I've been saying all along, I love them. I'm rooting for them. But when they play a team that actually can coach and actually put their players in a good position and actually slow down what they're trying to do on offense, they're going to have a tough time, and that's what happened with the Giants. I mean, you look at this game. The Giants had 1 touchdown, really, on offense, and they got a fumble from Tyler Lockett at the 2-yard line on a punt return, and they cashed in. They barely did anything on offense in this game. They scored, 13 points, 14 points? That's it. And the 1 touchdown they got was thanks to a fumble. This defense of Seattle was unbelievable. Go back, watch that game. Seattle's run defense is the real deal. And they've got some corners that can cover, man. And Geno, he makes all the right plays. Geno doesn't force the ball. Geno makes the big throw when he needs to. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are a problem. Marquise Goodwin adds that third target, that speed element that they're missing from that third option. They've got a couple tight ends, Will Disley and Noah Fant. They got Kenneth Walker, Travis Homer, a DJ Dallas. The offensive line's protecting. I like the Seahawks. I have not liked the Seahawks in quite some damn time, guys. I do not like the 12s. Okay? And the biggest reason I don't like the 12s is because I got Tessa over here telling me, Mitch, you got to stream the Seahawks. You got to stream the Seahawks. You got to stream the Seahawks. And then I stream the Seahawks and she leaves after 5 minutes. So you know what, Tessa? We're done with the Seahawks streams, okay? No more. You're cut off. Done. Real reason I've never liked the Seahawks, besides that reason, is that I live in Vancouver. Most of the fans around me are Seahawks fans by bandwagon because we're in close proximity. And they've always thought the Seahawks. I had to hear about the Legion of Boom over here as a Patriots fan. We never got to play them. We never got to whoop their asses. I had to listen to that for 3 years, bro. I couldn't listen to it anymore. Thank God we beat them in the Super Bowl. I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't listen to it any longer. I was done with Seahawks fans. But I'm on the Seahawks bandwagon. I'm on the bandwagon. Kenneth Walker's my guy. Geno, it's just impossible not to cheer for Geno Smith. And Pete Carroll, baby. I'm on Team Pete Carroll. You got Team Pete Carroll and you got Team Russell Wilson. And you should be on the right side of history. Pete Carroll is that dude. You know what? The other great coach that nobody gives enough credit to. When are we going to be putting Mike Vrabel? Mike Vrabel is a elite NFL coach. I'm done with this conversation. I don't care that he doesn't call plays. I don't care that Mike Vrabel looks like a guy that doesn't support your type of politics. Okay, I don't care. I don't care that Mike Vrabel, if you saw him in a dark alley, whoop your ass. I don't care that Mike Vrabel would rather kick a field goal than go for it on 4th and 1. Mike Vrabel is elite. I put all that aside. I don't care that he doesn't call cool jet sweeps. I don't care. Mike Vrabel is elite. What does he have to prove? To prove that he's elite. He took Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship. He's taken this Titans team last year with insane injuries to the number 1 seed in the AFC. And the only reason he lost is because of Ryan Tannehill. His defense that he coached had 9 sacks, I think, 9, on Joe Burrow in the game, and they lost. This year, they're 5-2. The Titans are 5-2. The Titans suck. Guys, do we realize the Titans are actively terrible at football? I mean, who do the Titans have? Who do the Titans have? At wide receiver, they got a shell of Robert Woods. Their rookie first round pick isn't even there. They traded A.J. Brown. Derrick Henry's coming off a major injury. Ryan Tannehill's hurt. The offensive line, Taylor Lewan, see you later. They lost Roger Saffold. They don't have Jack Conklin the last 2 years. Defensively, they got a bunch of young guys on the secondary. They lose their best edge rusher, Harold Landry. They've got overpaid Bud Dupree. Who do they got that a team is rolling into Tennessee and saying, ooh, we're scared of the Titans? What they have is a man named Mike Vrabel. You don't want to test Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a man's man. Mike Vrabel is an old school football coach. Mike Vrabel brings the mentality of toughness, of fearlessness, of grittiness to his team. You look at Mike Vrabel, just look at the man, and you see the way the team plays. And yes, Mike Vrabel kicks field goals. Yes, Mike Vrabel wants to play defense. Yes, Mike Vrabel values special teams, Matt LaFleur. Okay? But it's winning football games. This man coaches toughness. This man's teams never back down. It doesn't matter who's in the lineup, who's not in the lineup. It doesn't matter. Mike Vrabel's going to win games. Just because the analytical nerds on Twitter don't like Mike Vrabel doesn't mean that you should not like Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a top coach in the game. Against the Texans, this man ran the ball 45 times for 200 yards. 45 times for 200 yards. Mike Vrabel said, we've got Malik Willis. This guy can't throw the damn ball. We know that. The Texans know that. Mike Vrabel, before the game, went to knock on the door of Lovie Smith, handed him the playbook, and said, look, we're running the ball. Stop it. And the Titans came out and ran the football 45 fucking times. And Derrick Henry had 200 yards. And the Titans lost the turnover battle. Robert Woods fumbled on a punt return. They threw a pick. Right? They still win the game with 10 passing attempts. They lose the turnover battle. And the Titans, with their backup quarterback, still won the football game. Look at the defense at the beginning of the year and look at the defense now. Why have they improved so much? Coaching. And they missed a field goal. Put some respect on the name of Mike Vrabel. Elite coach. If he's not in your elite category, you're missing something. You're wrong. You're an idiot. Also, the Texans' run defense is absolutely terrible. They could not tackle Derrick Henry. And I gotta say this. I doubted Derrick Henry coming back from that injury. That man is a freak. I don't understand how he's still this good. He is running people over. He's running past people. He looks like Derrick Henry. Okay? Derrick Henry, Hall of Fame, sign up. Next. The Vikings. How good are the Vikings? How good are the Vikings really? So I watched this Cardinals game. I was impressed by the Vikings offensively in this football contest. I was impressed. Okay? I thought early on, the man, Kevin O'Connell, had the O cooking. They had the run game going, the screen game going, the passing game going, play action, motion, short yardage, cool play designs in the red zone, getting that tight end design, block and go type deal. On defense, they had Zadarius Smith with 2 sacks lined up as a blitzer. Their run game was really working well in that game. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison. And they totally outplayed the Cardinals. I understand the game was like an 8-point game. When I watched it, they outplayed the Cardinals in that game pretty drastically. The only thing the Cardinals really had in the game was the D-Hop connection and the occasional Rondell Moore play. Other than that, they had nothing. And their defense, the Cardinals defense, that's well coached, well prepared, well schooled. I give them credit for their coaching all the time on defense. The Vikings offense was moving the ball. I think the Vikings, I said last week that they're a pretty good team that's in a bad NFL, so it makes them look better than they are. I still don't know exactly. I still don't have a lot of faith on their defense, but this is a team that could win a couple playoff games. I mean, they could. So Vikings, they need to get better on defense, but the offense is starting to cook. For sure. So everybody wants to know about what happened to the Raiders. Like, what happened? Mitch, your Raiders! What happened to them? Is it McDaniel's fault? Is it Derek Carr's fault? Is it Mark Davis with his terrible haircut? Is it Devontae Adams and his hatred of cameramen? Is it Hunter Renfrow and his receding hairline? What is it, Mitch? What's going on with the Raiders? You said the Raiders are gonna be a playoff team at the end of the day. It's tough for me to watch this game and really have an answer for you guys. It is. Because the way I look at it, there's more than one problem with the Raiders in that game. Because the Raiders, they played really well against the Texans. They played well against the Chiefs. They've played well mostly this season, to be honest. They've let some games slip away. They've lost some close games. This game in particular looked like a game that they just ran into a terrible matchup. So they went on the road to New Orleans and they played a team that is very well constructed and built and coached to beat the Raiders. So, what do I mean by this? Offensively, the Raiders have become this I formation, old school, two-back offense where they get Jakob Johnson in the game, they get multiple tight ends, and they run the football like it's 1993, right? Well, the Saints, they're a defense that's built to stop that type of run game. There's a lot of teams that don't know how to stop anymore the two-back running game because every team is coached nowadays to defend the pistol, to defend the read option, to defend the zone read, to defend the shotgun runs, to defend the one-back runs, right? The stretch, the inside, the outside zone. Meanwhile, the Raiders are leading the NFL in yards per carry and efficiency on the ground because they run the power, they run the ISO, they run trap, they run, all these runs, these duo runs where it's just power football. It's fullback. It's old school. It's smash your face in half. It's Pittsburgh Steelers, Bodo Winter, 1976, Franco Harris running people over type of football. And the Saints are a team that's got a good scheme on defense to stop the run in a traditional fashion. The Saints struggle stopping the run when they play a Jalen Hurts, when they play a Marcus Mariota, when they play one of those guys. In this game, they were all over the Raiders, and what was really shocking to me is they played the run game. They were the first team I've seen really play the Raiders like they're a running team. Right? So this is what I'm intrigued to see the Raiders adjust from. Because when you talk about it, is Josh McDaniels supposed to get away from what's been so successful with this team so far? Is running the ball. So I don't really want to get mad at Josh because when you watch the game, it's not like he made outrageous, ridiculous decisions. It's not really like the play calling was all that bad situationally. And it's not like he didn't get away from his identity. The identity all year has been Raiders are a running team. They're really good at running the ball. Let's stick with that. Let's go with that. Because there's the other side of that where if the Raiders just come out and they start passing it all over the yard and doing stuff that they haven't been good at all year, fans would get mad, right? For obvious reasons. Right? So could McDaniels really win in that scenario? No, not really. Not really. When you look at Derek Carr has not picked up this offense very well. And I'm a big Derek Carr fan. As an individual player, I thought Derek Carr was playing great football the last couple of years. I think Derek Carr's played really good, man. But this year, Derek Carr has not played to Derek Carr level. Derek Carr has not been himself. Derek Carr has not fit the McDaniels scheme the way I thought he might. He has struggled with reads, with his accuracy, with his comfort in the pocket, with just his confidence. He has struggled. Now, maybe Derek Carr will get better in the offense next year. Maybe. But that's a problem because this team was expected to be really good in the passing game, and they have shifted, rightfully so, into their strength of a running team. But they have not been able to get the success out of their passing game they thought they might. So McDaniels is going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what's working in the passing game and how can we get better there, because you can't have teams like the Saints stacking the box, defending the run, and with your receivers and your weapons that you have, like Davante Adams, you shouldn't be disrespecting Davante Adams to the level that the Saints did in this game. And shout out to Alontae Taylor, played very well, okay? Young rookie corner, but the Saints were kind of playing the Raiders like they're the Tennessee Titans. It was kind of weird to watch in a way. So I think there's more blame on Carr for how he's performed, but this is an everyone problem. This is a team problem. When you look at the offensive line, they also just ran into a game where they got their ass kicked. They got their ass kicked in the passing game. They got their ass kicked in the running game. They couldn't do anything well. That offensive line of the Raiders, that's been playing really well this year, really, especially in the run game. They got their ass kicked. And then you look at defensively, the Raiders have just struggled for most of the year. They were dominated in ball possession in this game. The Saints, when they needed to, they went up and down the field. And if you're a Saints fan out there, I don't understand the Jameis Winston hype. I don't understand the want to have Jameis back in this team, on this team, starting. Andy Dalton's playing well. Andy Dalton is seeing the offense well. Andy Dalton is taking his checkdowns. He's, keeping the team in rhythm, keeping the team in good situations, and then they're mixing in Taysom Hill when they need to. He's creating explosive plays. The engine of the offense is Alvin Kamara. And in a way, this offense has been better since Michael Thomas left because they're playing through Alvin Kamara and then they're complementing him in the running game and the receiving game with Chris Olave, with Traquan Smith, Marquise Callaway, all these other receivers they got, which they don't got bad depth there. Andy Dalton's really good in this game, and their offensive line playing really well as well. Run game, pass game. I mean, Crosby was the only real disruptive member of the Raiders, but I felt like the Saints protected well. I think they dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And I hate to admit it, but when you watch that Saints team on film against the Raiders, that looks like the Saints team that I thought they were going to be before the year. That is the Saints team that I projected to play this year. And if that Saints team continues, which is, I don't know if that's going to happen. Again, this might just be a matchup thing, but if the Saints team that showed up against the Raiders continues to show up, that's a team that can win this division. Now, I was writing them off a week or two ago because they were terrible. Now, all of a sudden, if they play like that, if Dennis Allen has that defense playing like that, if Andy Dalton is protecting the ball and doing just enough to win, and that offensive line continues to play well, and they understand their identity the way that they do right now, I think that's a team that has an up on the Bucs. That's a team that can be better than the Falcons. That's a team that can make the playoffs and win this division. It is. The only call that I thought was a bit fishy in the game from a Raiders perspective was the fake punt call. In my opinion, it was just too early to call that play. Like, I understand why they were doing it. It was 4th and 2. It was like near midfield. Like, it's the place where you do try a fake, but it was just too early in the game. I think it was still only 7-0, and that allowed the Saints an easy 3. They get an easy touchdown on a short field from a Derek Carr pick as well. So the game just got away from the Raiders, and the Raiders just met their match in this game. So I'm still not counting them out over this next stretch, though, because I think they play a lot of teams that are at their level. So if the Raiders can perform the way they were performing previous to the Saints game, they can hang with those teams. They can beat those teams. So looking at their schedule, I feel like the next 4 to 5 games will determine the season. If they can go on a bit of a run, they can turn it around. If not, oh well, season's over. Let's look to next year. But they still got plenty of problems there. Thank you, Jake. Okay. It's time for the main event of the evening. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. I talked to my boy Lenny last night, and Lenny said, I watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time. It's already one of my favorite movies, he says. Me, loving movies as I do, it being Halloween, I'd never seen Silence of the Lambs, okay? I'd never seen it before. I really didn't. It's been on my list. You know, you guys have, like, lists of movies that, like, you want to watch for a long time, but you never get around to watching it. That was one of those movies, right? So I watched it last night. Quite good. Quite good. A classic, okay? But what we witnessed on Sunday was not Silence of the Lambs. No. What we witnessed on Sunday was the silence of the Rams. The Rams are done. People are going to say, the Rams, they're still good. The Rams, they got McVay. They got Stafford. They got Kupp. They got Donald. They got Ramsey. No. Don't believe those people. The Rams are toast. And if they try to make a trade for a receiver, for a running back, just laugh. The Rams are done. They're done. And on Sunday, Father's Day came early. Kyle Shanahan, the father of Sean McVay, showed him how to coach football once again. And again, the 49ers took it to the Rams. Sweep, got the brooms out, swept them up. But this is why I'm so happy that the Niners, who, by the way, everybody knows, the Niners are my third team. Everybody knows that. I love the Patriots, always. I like the Bucks because of Brady. Not because of anything else really at this moment. And I like the Niners because of my guy Kyle, right? But the biggest reason that I enjoyed the Niners whooping the Rams has nothing to do with the Niners, nothing to do with Christian McCaffrey, nothing to do with Kyle Shanahan, nothing to do with Jimmy G. It had everything, and I mean everything, to do with Sean McVay and his just absolutely irritating, woo, yippee, we scored a touchdown, oh, yee, woo, it's the Super Bowl, oh my goodness, we scored, yes, let's line up, hey, yeah, let's go. We're the Rams. Yes, I gotta be Sean McVay. I gotta go in front of the camera. And I gotta go like this. Yeah, I'm the coach. But I'm not a player. I don't play in the game. I'm not the superstar, okay? I'm the coach. I make it all about me. I'm Sean McVay. Yeah. I'm Sean. Woo, whipping. We scored a touchdown. I run into the end zone. And then I slap people in the head. And then the camera follows me and I really animate myself so that I look like I care a lot. And it makes me endearing to people because I look like I'm really excited. So I go to Stafford and I say, yeah, you're the man. Good job, Stafford. Yeah. That's the reason I absolutely could not stand the Los Angeles Rams beating the San Francisco 49ers. The guy is so obnoxious. He's so irritating. He's so just, I can't stand it. He's like, he makes the show about him. He's not the main character. Sean, you're not the main character. The players are the players. The players are the show. Stop it. Stop running in the end zone when your team scores a touchdown. Stop running up and down the sidelines like John Gruden, bro. Stop it. I get it. You want to beat your dad. I understand. It's not going to get anywhere doing that. Ew! Poor Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp carrying this team, and he gets hurt, sacrificing his body, sacrificing all his limbs, sacrificing everything for this team, the Los Angeles Rams. Poor Cooper Kupp. This man's gonna die on the field. He's gonna die. He's getting like 1,000 targets, and he's just getting cranked and hit and smashed every game. And no wonder he gets hurt. I mean, how many times are you going to throw one person a damn ball? Like, come on. Can you give someone else the ball? Stop trying to hurt my man Cooper. And then we have Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey is Jim Thorpe reincarnated. We got Jim Thorpe Jr. here, Christian McCaffrey, the modern Jim Thorpe, throwing the ball, running the ball, catching the ball, doing it all for the San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey. The funny part about it is because you absolutely know that Shanahan was drawing up that running back throw play for a touchdown. Because he was doing that the whole week. Because what were people saying after the trade? People were saying, oh, you're an idiot. You're trading all these picks for a running back. He's not a quarterback. He can't pass it. He's not throwing touchdowns. You don't give up that many picks. And then all of a sudden, what does Christian McCaffrey do? He throws a touchdown. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. And then you've got Christian McCaffrey running, catching, juking, jiving, exploding through the line. I love watching Christian McCaffrey in this offense because he's perfectly suited for it. His vision is unbelievable. The way that he sees holes that don't exist, and because of that zone blocking scheme, he just sees where to go. It's like he knows where to go before it's there. He's just like, whoop, whoop, and then he's gone. Like, he's unbelievable. He's going to be, I don't know if it's possible to be an MVP for half a year, but he might win the MVP in half a season. I mean, he did something that nobody's done since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2005. He threw a touchdown, he rushed a touchdown, and he caught a touchdown in his second game on the team, in his first actual game. So, take your, it's a running back trade talk and discussion and your draft picks, roll it all up and shove it. Like, if the 49ers, I'm going to say this right now, with this guy on the team, Jim Thorpe Jr., with the Christian McCaffrey run CMC Niners, I'm saying it right now, the San Francisco 49ers, if they are healthy entering the playoffs, I am taking the Niners to win the Super Bowl. I'm not taking them to win one playoff game, 2, 3. I'm not taking them to win the NFC. I'm taking the 49ers all the way to the Super Bowl to win the whole fucking thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking Run CMC. I'm taking the best coach. I'm taking the better coach over Sean McVay's ass. And I'm taking Jimmy Handsome. And I'm taking Ayuk, Kittle. Debo didn't even play. I'm taking this defense that, in my opinion, when it's fully healthy, they didn't have Kinlaw. They didn't have Armstead. They still whooped the Rams offensive line. Whooped them. I'm taking the Niners in the playoffs all day, every day, twice on Sunday. The Niners will win the NFC if they're healthy, and the Niners will win the Super Bowl. I'm saying that right now. I'm sorry, Big Al. I'm sorry, but it's going to happen. Okay? That's it. You can take your draft picks. Fuck them. We don't need them. Niners to the Super Bowl. That's it. Gronk spiked the like button. That's the show. Subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you tuning in tonight on Halloween. And tune in tomorrow for the NFL Power Rankings. And the rest of the week, we've got rare videos, right? It's halfway point, as I said at the beginning of the show. So we're going to have some halfway videos, like halfway NFL predictions, and more on the BLV. Thank you guys for the support. Don't forget to Gronk Spike the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tune in to all the other videos. It's Mitch. Thanks for watching. Peace.